What's up, party people? It's Keys Dan with RadioWhat.com, DJLittleRock.com, coming to you live and in living color from the Radio What studios. And this is my podcast, What Makes You Famous? It's an extension of the RadioWhat.com internet radio station that I've been running for quite some time. And if you need DJ services, where do I always send you? DJLittleRock.com. One more time. DJLittleRock.com. Check availability and get a free price quote, and maybe you could have me at your next event. You know I like to party with the people. The people need to be entertained. Are you not entertained? Make your next thing a big one. Today on the program, Wes Brown. Wes Brown. Yeah, that Wes Brown. Wes Brown music, Wes Brown. Yeah, gonna have a good time talking to him in the next few minutes, so stick around. This week's shows, I have one public show that you are all invited to. Yes, my regular Friday night gig at the Rab in Conway, Arkansas. Come on out, the video dance party karaoke jam. Yes, I said karaoke. You're the stars of the show. Friday night at the Rab. We got a little concert going on starring each and every one of you. You can sing pretty much whatever you want to sing at the Rab. Meet your friends out there. The best place on a Friday night is the Rab in Conway, Arkansas. 8 p.m. until 12:30 in the AM. Full bar, kitchens open, pool tables, pool tournament on Friday nights. So if you want to try your hand at playing pool and possibly make some money while you're doing it, check out the Rab, Conway, Arkansas. Friday night, 8 p.m., 12:30 in the AM. That's enough intro. Let's get into it with Wes Brown. Man, I'm excited. I got him on Skype. And if you're listening to the audio version, I encourage you to check out the video version on my YouTube page, youtube.com/user/KeysDan. Skyping Wes Brown now. Look at that country boy. Look at that country feller on my screen. Oh, he had to change hats. He's professional.
Hey, if we got to, you know what I mean?
Well, you've cultivated a look, man, and you've cultivated a sound, and it's good to know you. Wes Brown on the What Makes You Famous podcast. Tell me, how's your day?
Up? You know what? I've been doing this since I was 12. Well, I started when I was 9 playing the guitar, but 12 I started singing in the bar room, and I don't know. You know what? I was brought up a little different than others. I mean, literally, and the way I've made my money my whole life, singing, and it's just really it's a blessing. Now that's what I do for a living. I do what I love, and I couldn't go back and work for someone else if my life was on it nowadays.
Well, I'm watching your music videos, and you're playing guitar, you're riding motorcycles, you're living the life, man. You're going place to place. Looks like you might be busking from time to time. You do some live videos just to make sure that the fans remember your name, because life in the entertainment business, people will forget you if you're not in front of their face like every few minutes or every few hours. They forget your name, but they won't forget you, man, because you have a big social media presence, and judging by your look, your attire, your sound, you're a presence when you walk in the room. I can tell. And I can tell you're always on the move because, just even starting this podcast, you said, give me 5 minutes. I'm on the road. So you're always making moves.
Well, it's like this, Dan. If I'm confused and I don't know where to go, I sit my ass down sometimes, excuse my language. But other than that, if you ain't moving around, if you ain't out getting it, it ain't going to come to you. You know what I'm saying? And mainly, then it turns into you're running for helping others. I try to do all that I can. Really, what I do, I stay in the studio. Right now, I'm at my live, studio. I got a monitor here. And now, if not, I'm at my home studio recording. And but now, I just actually today, just about 2 hours ago, I used to record with the A-Team. They call it, Brent Mason, Buddy Hyatt, and all them in Nashville. There was a time in my life I paid $3,000 per song, which I couldn't afford that, so I had to get investors, and so forth and so on. Well, I've got to a place now where I don't need it. I paid for he gave me a deal of lifetime, $500 per song. And he sent it to my studio now, and I put my vocal on it. The fact is, the Nashville guys are better than Wes Brown. It's playing every instrument. But now the past albums, I got an album that's dropping April 1st. I got a album called Certified. All right, and the album before that, Altitude, that's me doing everything. And I mean, like, I ain't been engineering and mixing but about not even a year. You know what I mean? But if I'm one of them people, if you can do it, I can do it a little better, probably. If I want to do it.
Wes Brown, there's a reason why people go to studios, because they got the equipment, they got the talent, they got the ear. They've been doing it a while. They've been doing all different types of genres. I'm talking to a lady yesterday on the podcast, and she said she goes to Nashville and they got it all laid out for her. They got all the musicians, people that play guitar better than her. She plays guitar, but the guitarist on her record is much better than her, and the drummer and the keyboards, and they have all the talent there. Hired guns is what they call them a lot of times when you go to a studio. That's the reason you pay $3,000. Now you got the $500 friends and family deal, obviously, because somebody sees something in you that they have to lay down that music. They have $500 seems pretty cheap to me for a song.
The deal that the big labels get, and it kind of happened like this. I cut 9 songs. I did the Outlaw 6-pack with them. Now, everything, I write all my own stuff. But I went up there, I cut with them, and Outlaw country singer. See, here's the thing. I'm the real deal, because, I got a prison number and everything from being dumb in life. But, you know what? I went to prison for a pot pipe with no pipe. But I called the judge a bitch. She had my mama crying. She humiliated my mama, and I ain't seen my mama cry since my brother killed himself. So, I said, you ain't got to be such a bitch. And my mama passed 6 months ago. I'd do it again, but I ended up doing it over a year and a half in prison on a misdemeanor. Because her husband, who said something, ended up being a state senator. Now, you go ahead and put that in a song. I learned a lot about life and a lot about a judge in a robe. I learned a lot because I've always, since I've been 12, I've done my boss. I'm literally, I do what I do and I make my money. But here's the thing, if someone else could have been bosses so many times, I would be a lot further, because I'm an artist, and now I'm 39 now. My songs didn't really start making sense until I was in my 30s, because hell, I thought I knew it all. I thought I knew enough. And then I get about 31, 32, and I look, man, I don't know nothing. And then mama dies on me, and I'm like, holy, whew. If you don't have a little Jesus in your life, when you lose your mama, you're going to crumble. I'm serious, And she was perfect, and 30 days later, she was gone from COVID. Hey, there's a lot to talk about these days. We got a lot going on,
Man, it sounds like you've had a learning experience, and I'm sorry about your mama passing. My goodness, sound like she, this COVID's a terrible thing in itself, and it sounds like you have firsthand experience. What do you say to the people don't get their shots or aren't taking care of themselves? What do you say?
My thing is, I don't get the shots. Like I said, I believe in Jesus. I go by the Bible. That my mama was the megaphone my whole life. But now here's the thing. When the megaphone for Jesus in your life, put it this way, my mama was the most pure form of good that was in my life. That's I did things I did. That's the reason I stayed humble. That's the reason because my mama. But now when mama's gone, it leaves you sitting there, well, hey, my mama knew how to pray against, hold on. Yeah, when she, either way, when mama passed away, it was 30 days. I wouldn't even believe it. Oh, is it real? Is it not? What's real? What's not? Next thing you know, she knew how to pray against it. And you know what? I tell you, I had kidney stones. Which they put me under to have surgery, but they put her on the vent. My mother's last words to me was, "Son, have your surgery or you will die." Well, what happened? A kidney stone that 1 inch, it lodged in my left side, and literally it about took me out. So I'm sitting there steady praying for my mama. I didn't know she was bad as she was. She told them, she had a meeting with my stepdad and with the doctors. Said, put me on. She was a retired nurse. And she said, put me on the vent. Do not tell my son until he wakes up from his surgery, because she knew I'd. And it's still, when I found that out, I woke up and I got on my motorcycle and I went straight to her, trying to get to her, but I couldn't. They wouldn't let me see her. I didn't even make it to her funeral because my truck broke down, so I had to come back, drive back on a bike, because for 28 years, my mother wanted me to sing. One thing my mother only asked me was to sing I'll Fly Away when she passed away.
It's my
and I
favorite.
would always be like, Mom, get off subject, you know what? But you know what? With a stent inside, pissing blood and stones, I drove my Harley from Wisconsin all the way to my mama's gravesite, and I sung that song. It's on Facebook. So, I mean, I did what I had to do. You know what I mean? Anyway, look, I'm sorry the interview went that way. I just had to get that off my chest.
This is your podcast. I want to know about you. My listeners want to know about you. Whether you sing a song on this podcast or not, I want to know where you came from. And it sounds like you've had a heck of a last year for sure.
A heck of a few, you know. It started back in 2008. My brother hung himself. I found him, and he was 2 years older than me. You know what? And I would. It's like this. Hold on. It's like when you start at 12, and in South Alabama they search for a knife and a gun at the door. If you ain't got one, they give you one. So you know, shot twice in both legs. I've been cut, stabbed, everything, and it's not been from being badass. It's from being in that environment. That was what I did for a living. Mm-hmm. I lived on the Forest Creek Indian Reservation. I was home at 12, but my mama was okay with it because she knew. And my dad kind of was bringing me up. My dad taught me how to, you know, snort cocaine at 12. Here's the thing. I lived it. Thank God I lived it at a young age. I lived like a rock star, but we didn't have Facebook. We didn't have all that. You know what I'm saying? And record labels back then didn't want to mess with Wes because I was wild. I was loose cannon, but I had not become. I was the guy who could sound like anybody he sang, but I didn't know who Wes was. But then eventually, after you get a little Skinner, little Hank Jr., little Stevie Ray Vaughan, next thing you know, it's just like one day I woke up and, you know, I'm in early 20s and I'm in Nashville. I never do competitions because this thing ain't competition and I ain't competing. It wouldn't be safe for y'all in the world if I didn't do this because I'm a very passionate guy. And you know what? I ain't got no patience. And I just sing. All life is a big memory reel. And nowadays, I just think back. My brother's gone. Mama and Papa's gone. My mom's gone. When you find yourself, and I'm up north, because you know what? Anybody who wanted to put me in prison for 2 years over a misdemeanor, I don't care to be in that state no more. Deuces. My mama said, Mom, I'll go back to jail. I said, or do you want me to go to Wisconsin? Because I had some people that was going to put money into me and try to really do this. She said, do you want me to buy you a plane? And that's how I ended up here. I never knew I thought I had more time from my mom. I kept my head down. I've written over 2,200 songs in the past year and a half. I do nothing but music day and day night. Everything on here I created. And you know what? My girl comes along, Nicole, and then she helps manage it and stuff. If I was a fireman, I'd suck because it's hard to get me on the telephone because I got 3 of them and I don't answer none of them.
Well, I even setting up this podcast, I know you got people that help you to steer your energy. You have a lot of passion. You have a lot of energy, and you need people to make sure that you're at a certain place, at a certain time, at a certain thing. Make sure that you're there, and it's nice to have those people.
You'd be surprised. I'm in desperate need of more. You know what I'm saying? I got my girl. I'm saying. It's like this when the Lord sees fit that I can. It's like this. Can you handle it? I don't do this to be famous or to be rich. If you get in the music business to be rich, you're going to be screwed. If you get in it for the fame, you're going to be screwed. I do this because this is how I cry, laugh, yell, and all that. And I used to think. Different substances did it for me. You know what I'm saying? I never got too wild, but I tell you what, it put me in prison, doing stuff like that. I grew up a little bit, got a little gray in my beard, and now I'm on a different type of vibe, bro. You know what I'm saying? I got something to write about, and people's digging on it, and now people from all around the world it's really starting to spread, and I need to do more of this, what I'm doing. You know what I mean?
Wes Brown, it sounds like you were a wild stallion, and people wanted to break you. But you don't need to be broke. You need to be green broke. is what the Cowboys used to say, and not broke all the way, got a little bit of wild left in you, because that's really where the creativity comes from. But you have somebody that will handle you, and you don't want to put all that pressure on your significant other, your girlfriend, your wife. You don't want to do that. Maybe you want a manager that'll kind of help out there.
Hope she hears that, because she's one of these. She can do it all. She's gonna do it. But here's the thing: if one person can do it all, how big are you really growing?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And what I'm saying is, it's like I've told her before. I said, you can be my manager, or you can be my girlfriend, but being both is hard to do, because my woman, Wes Brown's woman, would be taken care of sitting by the pool. But you know what? It takes a professional man to get things running out there. Sometimes Daddy's got to be off on the road doing shit. But if you can't understand that, you can't be part of that vision, then it makes it hard, kind of. Either way, now I've got about 12 albums. There's 3. April 1st will be my 3rd album out. I got 8 more ready to release. I got songs in Nashville now getting cut for me. And I'm fixing to start putting together a tour, an actual tour. But see, I'm doing all this independent. I don't have nothing, I'm just trying to do just the best way I can and take advice as I go. I mean, I don't know it all. I actually, you'd be surprised how much I don't know about music and stuff. But I do know what sounds good to me. You know what I mean?
Wes Brown, it's good that you're willing to learn. Anybody that knows everything, you can't teach them nothing, and they're no good to anybody. People got to keep on learning. I'm always trying to learn, and that's what this podcast is learning from you today, Wes Brown. But let's go back to that manager-girlfriend thing. Let's go back to that manager-girlfriend thing, because if you have a manager, you're going to want to send them to the store to go get you a drink because you need, a certain kind of drink. And if you tell your girlfriend to go get you a drink, she might harbor some kind of bad feeling about that. You send her to the grocery store. You send her to go get you a shirt. You send her to go get you a pair of socks. That's what a manager does.
She won't go. You know why she won't go? Because now it's DoorDash or now it's something like that. Call Walmart, they'll bring it home. Next thing you know, you're sitting there, y'all are together 24/7. Now, here's the thing: when you're 24/7, you know what? I don't know. Maybe I ain't trying to start a fight. I love her to death. I'm a weird dude sometimes. Sometimes my guitar is my pacifier. You see what I'm saying? And I always am like I live in a glass house and I'm a monkey on stage. I'm cool with that. But if they write these songs sometimes, I've been through 3 different marriages, and actually I only walked down the aisle once, but I always was accused of cheating with this right here. And I'm serious.
Yeah,
it's worse than any woman, and I guess I wrote a song. It don't have to happen if she believes it. If she believes it happened, that's let's see it.
The thing about a traveling musician, when you're a traveling musician, you have to give up a lot of things, like a family, here, and everybody needs a little time alone to themselves. This right here, I got my wife and my kid in the other room, but this is my alone time. This is my time to talk with some people, get some knowledge, expand my mind a little bit, learn about how Wes Brown ticks, a different kind of life. Growing up in Alabama, I grew up in Miami, but I'm in Arkansas now. You grew up in Alabama and you're in Wisconsin. So you went from one country to an expansive country. It's got to be very inspiring being in Wisconsin, a big country, but a lot of snow right about now, right?
I got a snowblower. What you know about snowblowing?
I know not too much, man. I know if I don't have my yak tracks, I'm going to bust my butt on that ice.
First off, I want to look. I ain't doing this to look like no rock star or anything, but it's this bright light right here that gives me a migraine after a while. So that's why I end up with glasses on.
Oh,
and
yeah.
It kind of works out. But here's the thing. Up here, I'm a Harley guy, too. I love my bikes, okay? And but up here, my buddy told me, ride year round. You know what I'm saying? You can put on some thick clothes in winter. I had to live off a bike 3 years one time. That's why I like a cowboy. I wrote that song. My buddy, when I first got my first song, he said, dude, you should put your guitar on your bag. I said, man, what type? I ain't even gonna say what I said. What type of dude would do that? 2 weeks later, I'm going through the divorce, and guess what I had? The Harley and the guitar. And because it was in my name. And I, at this point, I put about 160,000 miles on a Harley guitar on my back. And it's the best way of marketing if you're a single that don't have to come with a band. I got a Bose S1 PA system that has a back. You look like Batman, and I can ride my bike, show up and do a show, and keep it moving. I can have me CDs in each saddlebag for the AT&T store. Because guess what? When you're on a bike, when you walk in Walmart, you're going to take your guitar. You're not going to leave it in the parking lot on your motorcycle. You just say, look, here's the manager. Will you hold this? Guess what? Before you come out, they're going to say, man, can you really play that thing? I don't know. Be humble about it and just say, all right, you done sold you some records. You keep moving. And, that's how I've gotten around my whole life, right? But here's the thing. The better the song, the better the sound, the better you're treated, the better money you get. And, you lose your voice with the cold, you ain't nothing. It's crazy.
No, those times, man. And you say that you reinvent yourself all the time. You grow up and you become, whatever singer that you're trying to sing, you become Leonard Skinner, you become, Waylon Jennings, you become the person that you're singing. But Wes Brown, are you becoming Wes Brown because you have your own songs? This is when you were doing cover songs. Now you got 2,200 songs in your pocket that are Wes Brown original songs. And you say you have 8 albums ready for consumption, ready to put out there. That's a lot of work. You're putting in the work.
I had to, I had to kick it into beast mode. I tell you, Joe Kelly, he's over CDX in Nashville. And, here's the thing. He'll send me a text every now and again. Very rarely these days, though. He said, don't give it, because if you notice on my Facebook, I don't delete my live shows. There's little things I do that would bring up my followers and stuff because I'd have to just take some of me away from leaving it on there. There's some old ladies, there's people out there that in hospitals that they don't get to see it when I'm right live, so they get to see that replay and it just blesses their hearts. If you read some of the comments that I have gotten to read, which I get so many messages to, it's a blessing, but it's like, what, I'll leave it on there because slow grow means deep roots. You know what, if you blow up overnight, you know what, I don't need to, because I say what's on my mind. If I had a bunch of people come to me and acting weird, it could be a disaster, But nowadays I've learned how to control it. And, the thing is humility, dude. Humility and just be 100% real. You know what? We all going through shit. We are. No, and you know what? It ain't. They say, what do you think about politics? I say, well, about 18 years ago, they took my rights away from me, so I don't really care. Whoa. You know what? I mean,
I wondered about voting rights for, I guess, a felon, I suppose.
When I went to prison, I become a felon, and you know what? It's just crazy. You know what? I'm a good dude. I'm a good old country boy, and I do. You know what? Now back in the day, there's some things. You know what? I think everyone's done some things they ain't proud of, but I always had a good mama. I always had a good daddy, but my daddy had a stroke at 54, and see that was the same time my brother killed himself. I go to prison. I get out. You know what? As soon as I get out, I'm out of prison. Not even 3 weeks. My dad has a massive stroke. Now I got all his stuff falls on me, and I'm not. You know what I'm saying? Mama's remarried, so Mama can't even come in and help me. My brother, he's done dead. But then I get up here, and I did some time, and getting up to Wisconsin, I just I wanted to get as far away from Alabama because I had stepped off in a mess. We're talking about a sitting judge and the active senator of Alabama. You're not going to win there. And she told my ex-wife that she'd give me a knife over a speeding ticket if she could. She didn't like me. But after doing a year in her county jail, she started understanding me a little bit. She took me, man, I went through some stuff. We ain't got time to talk about it all, but I've learned.
No.
Keep your mouth shut. If you're from a judge, don't ever call her a bitch.
If there's one thing you take away from this podcast, Wes Brown, that is the thing. Okay, respect the people at the bench with the robes on for sure. I've had to sit in front of them for traffic tickets here and there from time to time. Always yes, Your Honor. Yes, Your Majesty. Yes, Your Highness. Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Treat him right.
You know what? Yeah. The thing is, she told me I couldn't go to Nashville. Now, that was right after I just had I'd allow people for the first time to invest. We're talking over $20,000 into me. That's a lot of money. And you know what? Then she said I couldn't go back, and I had 2 studio. When you go to the bigger studios, if you're going to reserve times, you pay for it. You're talking $1,500. So if you don't show up, you think they give you that money back? Well, you know what? I fell for a pinch of marijuana. So what? Yeah, I smoke. I'm a musician. For that, she was going to put me in a rehab, and she told, this is what her words was. She said, you know, and the guy said, because I'd stopped smoking like 5 days before, he said, you can tell that it's been a while since smoked. She said, so you got a prescription for that? And I was like, no, ma'am. What have we already done here? And she said, and look, I had affidavits and all these numbers where people wanting to be behind me. And she said, anyone who would rather you make an album in Nashville than work on your sobriety, she said, is a fool. And we're talking about weed. Okay, now, I understand that everyone's different view on that. My thing is this. I knew right then I was screwed. She ain't going to let me go. So I went and did a little monkey show for a minute, then I left. Then I come back, about 2 years in prison, left again, you know what I'm saying? And I won't go back this time. It cost me a lot. I had to leave everything I loved, my friends, my family, because these people kept on messing with me. She brought me every month she brought me in front of the court and humiliated me. She'd say, we're going to have a anyway, has everyone met Wes Brown, the country singer? You know, it took her twice before I finally showed her. They end up always carrying me. It's something I'll never forget, you know? And it's something, you know, it all comes out in songs now, man. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. One thing about me, if you talk to me, you might end up in a song. You know what I'm saying?
Wes Brown, it all becomes material, man. You take that.
That's here.
You know, it sounds like you were burning real bright when you were young, and it sounds like you're burning a little slower now, which will keep you alive a lot longer. A slow burn.
You know what? I'm learning. I'm getting. I don't like using the term. I'm getting old. I'm going to plug you into this big old 80-foot whatever screen it is, and because it just looks, I feel like I'm on the news. And what I want to tell you, Dan, is this is the most professional interview that I've done yet as far as podcast. It looks good. It looks the part. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
and
I appreciate that.
You're my type of guy. I can understand what you're saying.
Well, all I want to do is have a conversation with you and learn about you and learn where you came from and how you became the person you are. I'm watching your videos. You look like a old-fashioned country outlaw, you know, Waylon Jennings, what I grew up with, Willie and Waylon and Merle Haggard and all, you know, all these outlaws that I grew up loving and listening to, and you're playing the part, man. You have created that image. And you fit right in. And not only that, you have the background. A lot of hip hop artists, they think they got street cred. Well, Wes Brown has got the street cred. You've been through it. You've had a reckless youth.
I've had, yeah, he caught up with me. And the thing is, I ain't never stealing more. I can say that's a boundary I kept. But other than that, you know what? I couldn't really snort cocaine that much because the drain always made me lose my voice. So thank God on that. But and I've never smoked crack cocaine. So things I can exhaust. I'm not saying nothing on nothing else.
Yeah.
I'll pop hard. I'd start at 9 o'clock on a Friday night, and I'd stop about 6 o'clock Wednesday. You know, and I did that for the longest. And because everyone, when the bars close, and they want to keep, if the singer will keep going, well, let's go to the next house. And I lived that, and I you know, slept on different couches, and it was cool being Wes Brown. You know, Wes Brown never thought about having a family. You know, my girlfriends, I strategically picked the ones that they couldn't have no more kids, because I knew at 12 years old that I knew what I was going to do with my life. You know, because I can't not do this. Now I will too. In my early 20s, I wanted to have a little backup plan, so I weld. And then, you know, I had an $80,000 rig, and I was doing, and I did that for like 2 years. And I thought, I'm sleeping in hotel rooms, and everyone's just wanting to party, get drunk, and I still had a guitar in my hand. I mean, why don't I just? Well, then the internet, this all comes along, and it's safer. You know, I can sit here, I can do a show right after we get off here, right? People can tip me on there. You know what? And I can do the out and about shows, but now with the way the world's getting, now I'm not one of these scaredy cats. You're not going to find, I don't wear a mask, I don't get vaccination. You know what? When Jesus wants me, he'll give me. But I a little lagniappe, I say, is a French Cajun word for a little something extra. You know what I'm saying? And it's all about a vibe, man. if you walk into a room and everyone's so depressed and everything's going, then man, you turn that thing around and hit a little song and you can change the whole. That's a gift. You know what I'm saying? That's awesome.
Well, people that are listening to the audio version, I want you to check out the video version because you're in a room that is Route 66 to be sure. You got a wooden motorcycle behind you, and you got a picture of the man Bob Dylan. Tell me why Bob Dylan?
I'll tell you what, Bob, he played the harmonica and stuff, but you know what? That was originally not my idea to have Bob back here. Actually, I'll be honest with you, I didn't even know who Bob Dylan was. I mean, I knew who he was. I heard his name. I never heard his music. But my investors are Kathy and Leo P. These are straight from God. These are angels straight from God. They invest, not just invested in me. And when I say invest, they invested hard. They're hard-earned money. But when I got the prison stuff and all that, they were the ones who visited a video visit, and they Kathy, and no one will ever replace my mama. I learned that once I lost my mama. But if anybody's come as close is to Kathy and Leo as far as replace God's always allowed me to have family wherever I go, even though I don't have blood family. You see what I'm saying? And I'm one of them. I was taught to be tough, suck it up, move on. It's all right. Do for others. Don't worry about yourself. And look right here. I got to show you the P-51 Mustangs hanging up right there.
Look at that, man. I think I had models like that in my room growing up for sure. World War II was my era.
Tell you what, my daddy, he built his own airplane when he was in his early 30s. I got a jukebox. You know what I'm saying? Just got we got the TV up there. I had you on, but I unplugged you. And usually I keep my motorcycle right back here. Now, one thing is I like clocks because that's what we're up against now. Look at these right here.
Oh, that's beautiful.
About a $16,000 clock right there. This one's got wooden gears. And then you know what? Then we can go up here. If you ever like my grandma's house and stuff, look at these clocks.
That is
right here.
Amazing. Those are antiques. You can tell right away. Those things are old.
Every one of them works. And
wow.
Like I said, this right here, these toys. I ain't gonna say Leo's age, but he's old enough to be close enough to be my daddy. So look at that big clock up there. And all these things work, all these things. But now, them are toys from when he was a kid. I said, my gosh, man, how do you keep up with stuff like that? I couldn't keep up with nothing like that. But I've had a different type of life, just been on the move. And, that's why even now I write my songs. I record them. Thank God for technology. Because if I write them down, I'll lose the paper.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Around so much and stuff.
Well, that says a lot about a person that can keep something for years, for 10, 20, 30, 50 years. Me, I've lost all my stuff twice, in storage bins. I've lost it all because I couldn't pay for the storage bins, and that happens. At least it happened to me.
If you've got it once, you can get it again.
Yeah.
That's a good feeling. That's a great feeling.
What is it?
When you figure out it ain't about what you got anyways.
Yeah. The more stuff you have, the more stuff you own, the more stuff owns you.
Wow. And you know what? I'm telling you, when my dad had that stroke, like 283 acres, my daddy was a multimillionaire. He he owned he had a lot of asset stuff. Now let me tell you, my brother, when he killed himself, my brother's fiance was pregnant, 8 months pregnant with Ashley Maddox, and that's the first thing. And that's why, because my brother's dead now. Now my brother's son. When I saw that baby, I was in prison, but I said, when I get out, I'm gonna straighten my stuff up and adopt him. I got to, and I did. I did that just because the mother was on pills, and they found him out in the yard at 8 months old with a dog licking him, and he was finna go and sit. He's the last Brown if I don't have a son. And so I ended up marrying this girl that I was in the last halfway house called Center Hope, and I was in a 10-year marriage to a woman that I barely liked. She barely liked me, but we did it for Maddox. And then, finally 10 years about all we could take, and I moved on from there. Now I won't get married again. I got a girl, and she is freaking awesome. She helps me. But I'm 39, I've been through enough to know life can change like that.
Well,
And if it does,
what I got
I'm cool.
Yeah, what I got from that story, Wes Brown, is that you did right by your brother by raising his kid. That's beautiful.
If you don't, I mean, that's, he has autism too. But let me tell you something. I don't mean to say that. I don't mean to tag that as like, oh, something's wrong with you. This dude has a musical gift that would blow your mind. It's just like with autism, if he wants to do it, he do it. But like, so when my mama passed, I got to see him again, and I had bought some Bose. See, everything I use Bose. So I bought some Bose sunglasses. It was about $380. I didn't need them, but I tell you what, when I saw him, I thought I was going to use them on my motorcycle. I couldn't hear him good enough, but so I was going to take him back. But then I thought I saw him, and he was running around. He wasn't shedding a tear, and that was his grandma. That was his everything. And I mean, but being a Brown, I guess it's just wired in him. He wouldn't cry. He held it back. And I gave him them things, and it took a cell phone. And when he turned that music on, he started smiling and running around. And music is something that can heal your soul. And then my fans, I wish I could talk to my fans more than I do. To answer everyone like in real time, it would literally mean I'm on the phone. That's it. And there's a lot of times I leave the phone in the house. I don't even fool with it because I still got enough of the old school in me. I remember swinging off of trees as a kid. We didn't have cell phones.
No cell phone.
Bag phone. That means you're doing real good. You got a bag phone in your Bronco. So it's crazy, but nowadays the kids they were born into it. So and you see where it's going.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's all going to be, one world. Nobody's not going to have any creativity. It's all going to be, people spoon feeding, what they want you to know, and then not telling you what they don't want you to know. We were talking about this COVID thing, and I listened to the news, and I'm trying to decipher all the truth by listening to all these lies. I have no idea what's true and what's false. There is no real news. You listen to CNN, you listen to Fox, they're spooning it the way they want to see it. And then you don't know what is the truth.
I'm one of the most simplest guys. I think let's see. Let's see. You there?
Yeah, I'm here. Still here.
There.
Yeah. Yeah, still here.
Are you there? Okay.
Yeah.
You know what? Like I said, I've been up here going on. I'm getting close to 2.5, 3 years.
Yeah.
But and I don't even really hardly watch TV anymore these days. When I say all I do is music, I'm not saying that's well. Okay, I will say this: if you're going to make it doing anything, if you're going to be a bad son of a gun, if you're going to be a boss at what you do, you're going to be misunderstood because you're going to have a drive about you. You're going to have a passion about what you're doing that nobody else gets. This guy might be saying he does it on Wednesday. They don't understand. Wes does it every day, all day, every night. You know what? Until I go to sleep doing it, and then because I've always got when you are having to do it all. But that's why I took time. I want to do some other things now. I'm starting to make a little money, and but you know what? You got to have other people like Nashville to do your song for you. If the good Lord willing, I'll get to a Learjet and let everyone do my stuff for me, and I'll show up just sing. But you know what? If it comes, it comes. I can do it from right here. You know what? It's going to be the same deal. Why does it sound? I think you said poor Nick.
Well, Wes Brown, once you get to a certain level, once you get to a certain age, then you start inspiring the next generation.
I turn my Wi-Fi off. Hold on, Dan. Let's try this right here. This may help. One thing about it just wants to act up on me. Let's see here. How about now? Let's see. You back?
Yeah, still here.
Okay, yeah. Sometimes I got to turn my Wi-Fi off, and I don't know, you know.
Oh, this technology,
It's
it can make us or break us.
I don't feel, but look, you do too much talking, you know.
Well, I mean, it doesn't sound that good on a podcast, but if you got to play, a player's got to play. Wes Brown, you know, I'm enjoying talking to you as well.
Well, and you can even cut this out. Here's my thing. I got some songs I sent in Nashville, but I'm on the fence about one. I just wrote it. It's called Angel of Mine, and I'd like to get your take on it. All right.
Let's go.
And I'm going to just play it real fast, about a 2-minute version of it. All right.
Let's go.
If I can't see you, I won't hold the hurt inside. I can't see you. It can't be real. Sign of a woman you don't understand, so you leave her alone. Further and further you drift, a little further from home. Baby, angel of mine, can't we find a way to get back home? You've been on my mind for some time, and I don't want to do it all alone. Hey baby, please understand, I'm a man and I've got scars of my own. Baby, angel of mine, can we find a way to get back home before you kill me? Oh, before you kill me. Well, sometimes you're up and sometimes you fall down. Time's either a blessing or a lesson, you can figure out which one you're found. The sound of a woman you don't understand, so you leave her alone. Well, further and further you drift, a little further from home. Baby, angel of mine. See, it's something like that. It's a little, it almost has a scared feel to me. I don't know. What do you think about that, Dan? You personally?
It's got that feel. You could slow jam with your honey on the dance floor, just feeling that feeling. You know, if you're sitting at the bar and you had a rough week, it's a good song to unwind to with a cool one in your hands. It's a good song to just chill to, sitting in the backyard in front of a fire pit. It's beautiful, man.
Cool. Appreciate it. Yeah, I just wrote that, and you know, I think I'm gonna let them do that in Nashville too. Put them, you know, let them record that. Them boys have been playing. I mean, Brent Mason was on Owl Island Jacks and stuff. You know, Brent Mason's probably the best. Well, he's one of the hottest, you know, telecast players in Nashville for years. You know, and he's done retired now. He didn't make it into the Hall of Fame. I mean, these are you know, these cats they call themselves the A-Team, and they meet every so often. Well, Buddy Hyatt, he come down with cancer, and so he's been going to Mexico. T.G. Shepard helped him out, and they you know, trying to get him healed and praying for him and everything. But the thing is, I got to keep that relationship going. Who knows? After my mama, life can turn on a dime, and I want to start making the right connections with the right people, so I can keep progressing. I want my music heard, but you know, someone told me, I was watching an interview, and the guy's, you know, he rapped. It was a rapper, and he was not getting better. He was not even trying to progress. And they looked at it and they were like, you know, that's your job. You should be trying to do better and better and better, you know? But, you know, so that don't mean I got to go to American Idol or anything. I'm not that type of guy, really. I just do my thing like this.
Yeah.
I'm not saying.
You know, but with 2,200 songs, number one song maybe isn't as good as number 2,200. You progress, you get better, and you know, when you start writing songs, were you good in English at school? You know, or just these are just thoughts that spit out of your head, and you got to write them down on paper. You know, I'm 50. I'm 53 years old. I know a time without internet. I know where, you know, you have time to yourself, and you could either, you know, go play with your friends, or you can sit in your room and write a song, or you can write a poem, or you can, you know, write a story. You know, that you got to spend some time with your creativity, and a lot of people have different ways of expressing themselves. And you found, man, you it sounds like you found your niche. Yeah, you could have been a welder. You could have been a welder, you know, but
Yeah.
I like that you picked country music. And you know, this thing, I tell people in the entertainment business, you know, people that are looking to get a job in the entertainment business, you know, the money's good, but the work is not steady. You got to hustle.
You gotta hustle. You better believe it. You gotta hustle, or you got, or you got to make something so fire and hot that no one, let them come to you. When they come to you, then you got something going.
Yeah.
But you know what? It takes a lot of work, and you got to believe in yourself. You got to. I ain't gonna lie. I did a show last weekend, and I'll tell you what, it was one of the hardest shows because it wasn't my crowd to start off with. But I could have showed up. I got the attitude, or I'm getting paid, and then just going. But it just no one. It was just not my crowd and whatever. But you know what? I had to just bear down and get it. So do my 3 hours and go. And I got a rebel flag back in my vest. I'm from the South. Okay, that does not mean I'm racist. That don't mean I don't get it. I don't even. But of course, get a comment the next morning not to show back up to this one lady's town. And my thing was, I said, lady, you got the right one here. And I wasn't rude that bad, but it's like this. I was sitting, my back was to the wall first off. And what I got, why I got that rebel flag vest? Because I got it for 99 cents. That's why I got it. You know what? You need to check out who Wes Brown is. You know what? It was such ignorance. I just put it on Facebook and let the fans talk to her. I ain't gonna talk to her about it because the issue gonna be the same. What I did, I got a custom flag get made, and I'm gonna embroider it and hang it up behind me, and I'm gonna get a whole suit made of rebel flags. And I ordered the boots yesterday. I just because I got to play at the same bar again in about a month. So that's kind of how I answer that question. Now, that's a real smart ass way to do it, but I couldn't help myself.
Well, Wes
I put it
Brown,
out there. I said, if any of y'all can sew, and I'll be dang one of the fans said, give me your sizes and go make me a suit. I said, y'all get a suit, I'll wear it to the show.
well, Wes Brown, I'm a fan of the Dukes of Hazzards, man, and we're starting to erase all our history. We're starting to erase our history, man. Why? If people got to know, if the South made mistakes by seceding from the Union, but we got to learn from those mistakes. You cannot erase the history, man.
You can't erase the history, and it's weird because what I do, I forget that I'm sitting here in Wisconsin Rapids, Wisconsin. I get to thinking sometimes I'm in southern Alabama, and you know what? Just even that's why I say I don't turn on the news that often. I do. I see the weather and I see the United States. I'm like, whoa! I'm not where I used. I'm used to. I'm used to always being about 3 hours from the beach, if not being able to get there with quicker. But my goodness, when you're right by the Great Lakes, and then we were talking. Someone was talking about Canada the other day, and they was like, well, yeah, it's just right up here. And I'm thinking, what? I ain't got that far from Canada. I said, well, and here's why I figured if I go up here and it don't work out, I can Plinko, just fall back down to the States until I get back, where I'm familiar. Because everyone tends to know me in Alabama, and in the southern states, I'm real well known, but, and I guess I ain't been out west, but I got fans out there. That's what the internet, the beautiful thing about it is. I can't tell you I think the world's got too much of a damn hurry that everybody, you're losing personal touches with families and friends, and and you can be whatever you want to be on right here. But what I do, at least I'm the same dude when you meet me in person, and it's just what I do,
I can tell if I go up to Wisconsin and I meet Wes Brown and I shake your hand, you're going to be the same person that I'm seeing right here using this technology.
And you come this way.
Yeah, and because of this technology, it could bring us closer together, and we could learn from people all over the world, and we can make fans from people all over the world as well. This technology can make or break us. I'm from Miami, big giant town, 7 million people all living together, right? And then I moved to Arkansas, central Arkansas, all right, 50,000 people all living together. Then I moved out to a little place in the country, 500 people. Salute. you know. So my people are getting smaller and smaller and smaller, and my fan, but I could
bigger.
But I could still travel wherever I need to go if I need to do a gig, and I'm sure you could do the same, man. And as long as you got your girl that is backing you up, it sounds like she is backing you up and helping you out in to get you to the next level. You know, if you're on this level, you got to get to the next level, and that's work, man. You're putting in that work.
Once, like I said on my, once you make it to the top, all you can do is go down. So I mean, it's about the journey, and this is a marathon I'm running, and the marathon changes. I'm not a guy you can put a steering wheel on my back and make me think one thing or the other. I stand on God. I believe in Jesus, and that's what I say. Now, if I sign a record deal, they say don't talk about politics, don't talk about religion. Okay, I hate religion. I don't like religion. I don't know nothing about one of this. I know about this. I know about the Bible, the basic instructions before leaving Earth. You know what? Go to prison for a while. You'll learn because they don't have nothing in there but that to read. Yep. And you know what? I'm a slow reader. I play by ear. Now my thing is when the Go Bible come out, my mama got me a Go Bible, and I would run all weekend. And the only way I could feel peace and go to sleep, I'd put it in my ears. Next thing you know, I'll tell you what. Everything. If you listen to the Bible asleep, you will learn it. I promise you. When you need that information, it'll come up. And I've seen the miracle signs and wonders, and that's who gave me the gift to do what I do. And come on, we didn't do it. Do you think Wes Brown's responsible for all this? No. God gave me a gift, and I'm just saying, I got enough nerve, just like you do, to get out here and make a little racket and talk and say, hey, how you doing today? So many people that won't even do that, Dan. I mean, if you're 53, I'm 49. We're not that far apart. And the thing is, we remember that we call it the good old days. Hell, why can't now be the good old days? The thing is, it takes someone else, someone saying a little something different, someone that don't mind. You know what? I say what I believe. Now, I'm not going to jump in drama. I'm not going to try to create drama. I'm going to try to create a good vibe. And you know what? I know if they start fighting, not to play 3 steps by Skinner. You know what I'm saying? Because that wrecks everything. Yeah. Other than that, you're just going to keep it up. I love doing the shows out, but I think at this point, they need to get bigger. And you know what? People, like, we could do shows together, Dan. You know what I'm saying? Hey, when they have basketball games, they got announcers out front doing what you're doing, and then they got the players. We can work together doing this thing, and we can make it, like I said, anything you ever need from me, just holler. That's how I roll.
Now, Wes Brown, you saying you write music and you take it to Nashville, but you just told me you play music by ear. Can you write music when you take a song to Nashville? How are you taking it to them? Recorded, or are you writing notes for them?
No. Nowadays they got apps where I can take this guitar, play your song, and then it'll turn it into the notes. What I do, I write the songs and then I got it all in my head. I know where I want the fiddle, I know where I want the steel, but Buddy Hyatt, he's in Nashville. He is a producer. I would never call myself a producer, a great guitar player. I'm an artist. I'm an artist that gets by. Okay, I've been playing I got about 30-something years experience, and I got scars, and I got everything to prove what I say. Everything I say, I sing about what I know about. If I don't know about it, I try not to speak on it. But now, them guys, what I do, now see, I just now learned, within the past year or so, and whether it was because of lack of funds, $3,000 song, that was expensive. So you can't go all the time. And, I didn't know how to do the music business. Unless you sign this. And then they say, no, I get offered, a record deal. And I had 3 of them, I think, at university. I had some major deals offered that their PR people wanted to just talk to me about the deal. The thing is, I've had my nose to the grind long enough. There was a time I wanted a record deal. But you know what? It didn't work out for me. But now I'm fine without a record label. And the thing is, but you can't seem to get on mainstream radio. There's certain things that being part of a record label, and a lot of it's because look, hey, if you're a DJ right now and you're on a major radio station, and I say, hey, look, Dan, play this song, man. They say, ain't gonna charge you nothing, no royalties, no nothing. And guess what? Then if the song blows up, I come back, then my team sends a lawyer to you 6 months later, 8 months, and they sue the hell out of you or something. That's the excuse they give me. They said, and it's just hard to keep up with independent artists, and they want to be able to call Capitol Records and get on with so-and-so's management team. And they keep business running smooth. These are things I've been told.
Yeah.
But then me personally, I'm saying, should I just get in my old jacked up truck, or get it on the summer, get on my bike and ride around to these radio stations and knock on the door? Well, nowadays COVID hit, a lot of them won't even gonna let you in the door. But you know what? It's kind of weird. You get on down below that Bible Belt, and they see old dudes in some leathers and a guitar back. Hey, I poured into Tennessee right there at that rest area. There was 3 older people in there. They're all over about 60, and they was clapping for me. I walked in, and then old man in his pocket gave me 5 guitars. He said, "Hell of an entrance, son." He said, "Going to Nashville?" I said, "No, I'm going to my mom's grave." I said, "I've been to Nashville." Anyways, it was the coolest thing because, I mean, you know, get out here and do this music. You know, I don't mind talking like these cats who's hit me up just here recently. And if they see this, they'll know who they are. They're very, you know, my thing is this: you're not going to change Wes Brown, period. You know, what I wear, what I dress, how I do. Now, I can always, what I'm in need of is constructive criticism and guidance from people who know. But you know what? I give anyone 2 minutes if they're older than me. But after 2 minutes, if I'm getting dumber, I got to go. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't respect the thing, Dan. You know what I'm saying? I give them 2 minutes, but 2 minutes I can tell if, you know. And I've learned life is a blessing, man. We ain't got a lot of time here. We get going like that. And you know what? If it turns in, I ain't gonna monkey around and become part of the circus. I'm just gonna vacate the premises.
Well, Wes Brown, you're talking about 2 minutes. I'm so glad that I made the cut. We've gone way over 2 minutes. But you know what? I've been on the radio on and off since 1986, terrestrial radio. And you're talking about getting your song on the radio. I've worked for radio companies that own 200, 300 stations, and then I've worked for the mom and pop stations where they own 1 or 2 stations. So much better working on the little mom and pops, where if somebody comes in with a new record and I'll take a listen to it, look at that Wes Brown record sounds pretty good. Let me put that on my show. Bam, put it on the air, tell people, hey, that's Wes Brown. Go find him at the blah, blah, blah this weekend starting at 6 o'clock. Be there. You know, tickets are on sale at the door. You know, that's what radio should be. That's what, a DJ should be. It's a guy promoting other people. That's my job.
Well, and I'll tell you what, I mean what I say. I really have enjoyed doing this interview, but you got a good look. Your channel looks good. You know, I'm a like I said, artist that unless if the good Lord willing the creek don't rise, I'm gonna keep on shaking this thing. And then I'm gonna tell you what, these next 4 songs that's fixing to come back that I'm gonna do my best. When I say this, Dan, that I'm not. You know, I've been told when I get in the studio, I'm told I'm genius. But I don't know exactly what I'm doing. I just do it, okay? It's a God-given gift. But now, these next 4 songs I'm fixing to release coming up in the next year, it's going to be a changing point. I mean, because I ain't playing no more games. Now, the 6-pack, the Outlaw 6-pack, I'm fixing to put out, it's called Lawless. It's called Lawless Outlaw. Now, it's going to have all 10 of my recordings I did in Nashville, and you know, but we got Altitude Certified comes out April 1st. That's me doing all. See, I play all the instruments too, and that ain't the problem. The problem is the engineering, the mixing, the expensive equipment that's in Nashville. You know, when I go there, I record in Reba McEntire's own studio. You know, and it's you know, I can go to Nashville and I on Thursday night. Friday I can go to the studio. Saturday go to the studio, go home Sunday, and have a whole album done. 30 days later, it's ready to play.
Well, that's what you got to do. You're putting the work in to where you're already ready to go when you get there. You can't get to the studio and fart around and say, well, maybe I should do this change. Maybe I should do that change. That you have to be fully rehearsed and ready to go when you want to lay that track down. Yeah, you're doing the work, man.
It's you don't play around in them studios like now, and they always get me in last or whatever, because I mean I've done it. I've been, like I said, I do this all the time, and I don't use vocal tuner. I don't, you know, if I don't do a bunch of takes. You know what? when it's time to pull the trigger, if I'm gonna be in Nashville, I'm gonna do it right, and I'm gonna, because everybody's time is precious. But now, it used to, I need to get there. Then the time I showed up in a limousine and stuff, but nowadays I'm cool with just look. I made me a little recording on Voice Record Pro, but just made a guitar, sent to Buddy, and he's at midnight. I got back with me. He said, "Sorry, Wes." He said, "I've been on the tour bus with Mo Bandy." You know what I'm saying? They're going across country. And I said, "Well, Buddy," I said, "Look, I sent the song just a while ago. I sent him the money." And it's kind of like blew his mind because, I've said I wanted to do this on my own with my money for the longest, but it never turned out to be. Because money can be tough, you know what I'm saying? But this time I stuck to it, and it's not that hard to be a man. Do what you say you're going to do. And guess what? I did it. I paid him, and wait till you hear these songs that he's going to do. It's going to blow some people's minds. And anybody that's watching it, you can cut this thing to WesBrownMusic.com, but they can watch me on Facebook. Wes Brown Music on Facebook, the real Wes Brown on Instagram. If you just look up Wes Brown, you don't see me on the interweb. You know what I'm saying? Anywhere, if you want to buy the music, TuneCore. I run through TuneCore distribution. And Dan, I hope we can keep this relationship going. Like you said, if you have worked for these big companies, then you might get squeezed me on in there because I refuse to believe you got to be a major. I put it this way: they said you got to be a major artist and all this stuff on Spotify. Well, guess what? I am now.
Yeah, you are.
I got a check mark. I did my numbers, not because I'm signed to anybody. It's because you can either be signed to Capitol Records or you can sell 1 million records. Period. It's going to have the same effect. That's why you got a lot of these people that blowing up, but you need some kind of structure. And I'm always, like I said, always up for constructive criticism.
Well, Wes Brown, it feels like you don't have any fear either, man. You're not only.
Nah.
I'm on social media. I got the four. I got the Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. Those are my four. You're even on TikTok, man. These little girls are dancing, and then right next to them is Wes Brown playing his song right there for you. I
tell you what, I look. Then you see something about Ukraine and Russia, and it's like this. I saw a comment said look, and we're not gonna get on the Joe Biden and all that, but I'm gonna tell you this. I saw something so cool. It said Russia, their kids, they're training them from babies to shoot people, to do war games. We got grown men on TikTok. We need to sit this one out. I was like, yeah, oh my gosh, that's so right.
You are so right, man.
Here's the thing. You got to have an online presence. That's the thing. Even some of your major artists they go behind. I just kind of come along at a time where, it all goes. Glory goes to God first. But if it wasn't for Kathy and Leo, this building I just showed you. This is Leo's. This is some of his antiques. I mean, and the thing is, I've been up here like 2.5 years now. I have my own place. Me and my girl, we have our own place, and we do our own thing. But I lived right here where I'm sitting, right here, for 1 year, day in, day out. I slept in there in the bedroom, but you know what? They brought me here and they put me in the family, just like I was the heir to the throne or whatever. And it's rare, man. It's rare to meet real people like that.
Wes Brown, it sounds like you got people that believe in you, that have faith in you, and you develop those relationships. You can't do it all by yourself. You have to have a team. Yes, you got your girl. Yeah, you got your friends that lend you this place and the people at the studio. You cannot do it by yourself. And you've got a team that's going to help Wes Brown Music go to that next level. I'm looking. I'm a fan already. I'm behind. I'm locked in on all these social medias. And tell me about Twist on it. What is that?
I'll tell you what Twist on it is. I can't give the secret away. Anyways, it's about a buddy of mine, we were sitting. Like I said, I've always rode bikes, and when I was in Alabama, one of my best friends named Lee Bird, he's got a group called the Twisted Brotherhood. Okay, it's a riding club, not an MC. I know a little something about outlaws too, but that's in my past. This is a riding club. It's called Twisted Brotherhood. Anyways, Lee's about 390 pounds, about 6'5". Now, Christy, his wife, she's a lot smaller, but we're sitting on the front back porch of his place. I'm going through my third divorce at the time. And one thing, my last wife, she did not stand me singing. She didn't want to play the guitar. It was just something weird. Anyways, but Lee, we're drunk, and the night before we rode, and I passed everybody, and she was like, "You got to slow that motorcycle down." And I said, "I just want to get in front of y'all. Y'all going too slow." And Lee just looked at me and giggled. Now you got to picture this big old guy, and he giggled. He said, "Man, sometimes you just got a twist on it." And anybody who's been on a motorcycle, or anybody, sometimes you feel the need just to go. And I had me a little buzz, and I said, "I'll tell you what, if she could tattoo, I'd let you tattoo it on me right now. And I'll be damned if I didn't have a tattoo gun and all that." And guess what? So I had it tattooed right here on my arm, twist on it. Now, some of my fans, I just had a 78-year-old woman that's never had a tattoo before. She, you know what? Send me a picture. She got twist on it on her arm. If you go to the at sign, at twist on it takes you to Wes Brown Music, to Facebook, to all that. You know what? I told my girl one time, said about, "Hey, I'll just write at twist on it on a dollar bill before you spend it." And would you believe it went crazy? And they say, "No, I'm getting them dollar bills up here with the at twist on it." Because if you see that, that's going to be like, "Oh, this is going to make you. You don't go to it. You don't get on your phone and go to at twist on it. There's no way you're not." And guess what's going to happen when you get there? It's going to be all way. Now, maybe I won't get federal charges for that. I did not come up with the idea. I said my girlfriend did.
Well,
look, these I mean, it's real stuff. Independent artists, look, you get how you look, these dollar bills. Now these come circulated through the bank, saying, I mean, so one of them come from Georgia and it ended up in Wisconsin. You just think about how many hands cash money switches. You know what I'm saying? It ain't always about all my numbers on all these social media. Everything's organic. I don't run campaign. I try to do it as cheap as possible, and I don't mean that come out wrong. I don't mean as cheap as possible. If I need some money behind me, it's behind me. Put it that way.
Yeah.
But it's got to be. Yeah. It's just like if you got a perfect good car and it's running and it suits you fine. Why would you want to go get in debt on a brand new thing trying to be something that you're not? You know what? I'm Wes Brown. I don't wear sunglasses at night all the time, just when I'm in front of a very bright light. You know what I'm saying? I'm just a normal guy. That's I got a little bit to talk about these. Or a lot of people say they enjoy what I sing about. Mm-hmm. So, and that's good enough for me, because I love singing. I love singing, I'm playing, and I'm doing it either way, whether we're recording or whether we're not. I'm gonna be doing it either way. So.
Well, Wes Brown, I think that's a good place to finish off this edition of What Makes You Famous, featuring Wes Brown. I don't want this to be the last time we talk. As things progress, you come back, every 6 months, a year, whatever, and we'll talk about whatever's going on or whatever shows you got coming up. I want you to have an invitation to come back and talk to me. But at this point, give some shout outs to people that have helped you along the way. Or, talk about, whatever people have helped you out, and give some last words for the people, whatever words to live by or whatever pops into your head at this moment in time. Wes Brown.
First off, I'd give all thanks to God, just, for giving me the gifts I got and the people that have been in my path, Mike, Linda Parker, most of the people are dead now. These are people that were like, Mike and Linda was like my mom and dad. At 12 years old, 13, 14, 15, when I was in that bar room, they got me the worst part of my life, my dad's in the nurse home right now, but he follows. And you know what? My dad, everything was about this music thing. He sacrificed so much for it too. And then, you know what? I just gotta say, of course I've talked about Kathy and Leo, and then Nicole, that's my girl, and I got a handful of friends up here, but main thing's God. God keeps me going because you know what? Like I said, I could have to take a right turn and end up in Idaho next. You know what? But as long as I got a guitar, I'll be all right. You know what I'm saying? There's always going to be need for some music somewhere. You know what I mean? And when there's not, there won't be no need for Wes Brown anymore. So you know what? It'll all be good.
All right, Wes Brown. Give some words to live by. Give that.
Motorcycle made out of guitars, right?
What's that?
You saw that, didn't you? I said, you saw that guitar was made out of guitar. The motorcycle is made out of guitars.
I knew it was made out of wood. I didn't particularly know it was made out of guitars. I saw that behind you, though.
Look at that.
Look at that. All right, man. People on the audio version are going, what is he talking about? This motorcycle made out of guitars. Well, all right. Yeah. Go ahead and let's wind this thing down. Give some last words for the people, words to live by, something that pops into your head at this moment in time. Wes Brown music, last words for the people.
Well, if I had to get words for the people, it would be follow your dreams. Don't let anyone hold you back, and don't be afraid to turn up. And number two, don't believe everything you hear on the internet or whatever. But I tell you what, Certified, my album comes out April 1st. You just put in Wes Brown something, wesbrown.com, whatever. You'll find Wes Brown. You'll find me. And you know what? I'm going to be shaking a leg somewhere. I don't have a lot of shows coming up, and I don't have my schedule in front of me, so I can't. Anyways, go to wesbrownmusic.com. You can find the schedule on there, you know. Dan, I have had a good time doing this interview. I just got back to the Home Depot, so I got me some wood and stuff. I got to do a little, you know, man work at the house now, and I'm gonna drink a cold beer and enjoy the rest of the night, man. Hey, look, let's keep this communication going. All right, we'll talk in the future. All right.
Well, there you have it, party people. Just a good old boy. He's an outlaw, man. He's got the look. He's got the sound. He's got the skills to pay the bills. Got that guitar on his back, riding on his motorcycle. Yeah, living the life and actually doing the job, doing the work, being the persona that he's authentic. It's not an act. You know, Wes Brown is who he is. He is that dude on the motorcycle with playing the country songs. I guess if you spoofed it, he would be playing his guitar while the motorcycle was going down the street. That would be the funny version of Wes Brown. But the man's had a life, man, and he's had a tough couple of years for sure. My goodness, tough few years. But he takes all that pain, all that life experience, and he turns it into songs just for you. 2,200 songs. I've never written one song. How do you write 2,200 songs? He's got an album coming out, you know, on April 1st, and he says, oh, I got 8 more albums waiting. 8 more albums full of songs waiting to be fully produced and released to the world. That man's working. He's working hard to get that music out to you. That Wes Brown music out to you. I encourage you to check him out, follow him all over the place. I mean, the first place to start definitely is wesbrownmusic.com. That would be the place to start. And all his social media is right there. And if you follow him on most of the social media, he might give you a little taste, a little concert. And then if you like what you hear, and you got a couple extra bucks in your PayPal, toss it his way. That's how he keeps going. That's how you get that good Wes Brown music. Thank you so much, Wes Brown, for being on the What Makes You Famous podcast. It was a good talk, and I look forward to the next time. For sure. All right, party people. Hey, now if you, yes, you, I'm turning my attention to you. If you would like to tell your story, I encourage you to give me a call, 501-470-6386, or email info@radiowhat.com. That's it for me. It's Keys Dan, radiowhat.com, djlittlerock.com. Peace. I'm out of here.